Welcome to CSS Backgrounds tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll learn through how to apply different background effects for an HTML element using CSS background properties. So in this example, we actually have a body selector. So this body selector has various CSS declarations which are currently commented, and we'll shortly go through each and every CSS declaration. So let's quickly see how this web page initially loads. Okay, so now you could see there's a heading and a paragraph text here. So the first background property which we could actually look into is the background dash color. So this actually applies some background color to the HTML element. Here it's body element. So let's just remove the CSS comment and reload the web page. So now you could see there's a background color which is actually applied. This actually comes due to this background color with the hex color code which is mentioned here. You could also mention background color in RGB notation as well. So let's comment this line and uncomment the next one. Okay, let's reload here. Okay, so now you could see uh, the color change is to a different color using the RGB color code here, which is 25500, which actually corresponds to the red. So we could actually comment this one and see the next CSS declaration. Okay, so here we are directly mentioning the color name here, blue. Let's reload the web page. Okay, so now you could see there's a color change again. In order to apply a background image, we could actually use the background dash image, which is present in the next line here. So let's uncomment and reload the web page again. So now you could see there's a background image which is actually applied to the entire web page. But often the background dash image property says whatever image is actually provided within the URL parameter, that image is actually repeated along the x-axis and y-axis. So you might actually need to control along which axis you wanted to get the image repeated. So you could also use background dash repeat property, which is in the next line. So let's uncomment this one. So this actually says repeat dash x. So this image should be repeated only along the x-axis. So now you could see the image is actually repeating along the x-axis only. It's not repeating along the y-axis. Instead, you could actually mention repeat y so as to repeat along y-axis if you wanted to. So let's see how that gets affected. Okay, so now you could see this is repeating just along the y-axis. And if you actually don't wanted the image to repeat at all, so you could also mention saying background dash repeat to take no dash repeat value. And if you reload, you could actually see there isn't any repeat either along the x-axis or along the y-axis here. And you could also mention if the background should be attached to a fixed position so that even if there is huge text within the web page, there isn't any scrolling of the image as you actually scroll along the web page. So you could actually copy some huge text in order to demonstrate this particular feature. So let's paste some huge text here and let's reload the web page. Okay, so now there's huge text which actually makes a vertical scroll bar to come up along the right side of the browser here. So as you scroll, you could see the image is actually going away from the user's view. So in order to make it fixed, you could actually use background dash attachment to take fixed value. And you could try reloading, and now you could see as you scroll, the text is actually scrolling, but the image is particularly fixed to that particular location. So for this purpose, you could actually use background dash attachment to be fixed. And in order to fix a position of a background along the web page, you could actually use background dash position. So this particular value says the background position it should be along the right and top of the page. So you could actually reload it again. Yeah. So now you could actually see the image is actually right and top aligned here. So with this, we actually covered different background properties. But if you actually wanted to mention all these background properties in a concise manner, there's also a shorthand property which actually says the background property is capable of covering all these values which we discussed so far. But there's a predefined order here. So when you actually define background effects in one single property using this background CSS property, you need to follow the order, say like the background color follows with the background image, and this follows with the background repeat, and this follows with the background attachment, and the last one could be background position. But again, here the order is actually essential, but you need not necessarily mention for each and every property some value. So here we actually had just in this example only four of the values. Say we just mentioned the background color and background image and background repeat and background position. So we actually didn't define the background attachment here. So let's quickly comment all other CSS declarations and see how just the shorthand notation can be applied. Before that, let's quickly reload and test all styles are removed. Okay, so now you could uncomment this CSS declaration. Okay, let's reload this. Okay, so now you could see all the CSS properties corresponding to the background effects which we mentioned in the background CSS property are applying now. So this is actually taking a green color code with the with the paper as a background effect, and it's not repeating, and it's actually aligned towards the right and top of the web page. So it's not fixed because we didn't actually mention the fixed property here. Yeah. So with this, we actually covered how to apply different background effects for any HTML element using various CSS background properties. Thanks for watching.